Ah, yes, sexy biscuits, and welcome into something quite interesting. So, I have been testing some games on the Steam Deck, and one game that I really want to check is Medieval Dynasty. Now, we're going to have some actual gameplay on the screen in a second. I wanted to show you me booting it up on the Steam Deck so you can see how it starts up and have a bit more of a real look at the Steam Deck actually playing the game. Because honestly, this kind of surprised me with the performance. So, we're going to jump in. So, currently I have my settings to the lowest possible. We're currently at 1280 by 800, and we're preset right at low. Now, I'm going to put this back up to high, and we're going to play the game as if I was playing on my PC. And then we're going to jump into a game. And here we are inside the game. So, if you ran this on high, the game will hit about 34 to 35 FPS. Which personally is actually quite playable. Now obviously you can bring the refresh rate down to 30 and just lock it at 30, which I recommend. But, now this is the part that's quite interesting, and I'm going to show you this in recorded footage as well so you can see the difference at higher definition. But if we were to go into the settings and then go all the way down to graphics and then bring it back down to low. Actually, you know what? Let's bring it down to medium. Let's see how medium runs. Okay, we're currently sat at 60. 95% of the GPU is being used right now. And when we go into recorded gameplay, you'll be able to see that a little bit better. But as you can see, we're running at around 54, 60. It's a bit all over the place. If you knock the refresh rate down to 40, this would run beautifully. But if we were to knock this down again to low. Now, there might be different ways you could actually have it on some settings being high. I'm still to kind of go into the settings and mess around with that. But as you can see right now, we are running at a solid 60 FPS. 78% of the GPU is being used and 39% of the CPU. So it's quite a GPU-heavy game. I would say that this is 100% playable on Steam Deck. Even though it's not verified, I think it should be. Now, currently, it's under playable. After testing this game out for a bit, I honestly believe that this game should be bumped up to verified, so I hope Top Lit can do that. But as you can see, everything runs absolutely fantastically. Now, there's always a little bit of a stutter when you knock down a tree. That's the only time I've seen the frame rate drop, is when a tree gets separated from its trunk. And I think that's a CPU issue. So let's do that again and keep an eye on the GPU and the CPU. So we're going to chop down the tree, 46%. Right, okay. That jumped up quite a bit. And also graphics has jumped up quite a lot. But as you can see, it then evens back out to a full 60. Right, let's jump over onto the PC and I'll show you this up close a bit more, because obviously from this angle you can't get all the finer details. But if you need the TLDR, play this game on Steam Deck. It's the perfect game for it. Okay, so here we are running everything on high, and you can see in the top left hand corner all the different stats you need. You want to be looking at game scope. That is going to show the FPS itself. So as you can see, running everything on high, we go to about 35 is the lowest, it seems, about now. So we're going to drop it down again to medium, and let's see what we can do here. So, preset medium. Now, as I said before, there are probably things in here we can turn on and off that can affect performance, maybe not that much, but also stuff that's going to really cripple the Steam Deck. Shadows are definitely going to be an issue normally. Textures might not be. Foliage, definitely. So let's put that to low. So, you know what? Let's put view distance to medium, anti-aliasing to high, post-processing we're going to keep to medium, shadows we're going to keep to medium, textures, let's put those to high, effects, that doesn't really matter too much, so let's keep that to low. And DFAO is going to cause shadows under objects and stuff. Kind of like if you have an awning on a building, you can have the shadows underneath it. So it gives a bit of depth. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to accept those settings. Now we're sitting at around 58, 55. 59, 53, 41. That was one little dip, though. And of course, you can go in here and mess around with literally everything. But right now, this is 100% playable. So as I said before, one thing that I would really recommend people do is set their Steam Deck to 40 Hz. It's kind of weird. If you play at 30 FPS, and if you've played PCs, you know about FPS. It's something that you kind of start to notice when you start playing PC games. Before I had a PC, I didn't really know what FPS was, and I remember playing Fallout New Vegas back in the day when it came out at around 15 FPS, and I completed the game like that because it didn't bother me. Ever since, though, I've started playing PC games properly, it's something I'm noticing more and more. Having the game set to 30 will look okay. If you're used to playing, let's say, console games, a majority of console games are at 30. By bumping up to 40, it kind of feels a lot smoother. It's weird how 10% can make a difference. So I would recommend setting this game to the settings I've just set, and then setting it to 40, and you will have an extremely smooth experience. And the game still looks quite nice. I think this looks okay. Of course, I'm bumping this up onto my 1080p monitor. We're still stuck at 1280 by 800, but of course I'm seeing the screen bigger than it really should be. So of course I'm noticing a lot of things that I wouldn't generally on a 7-inch Steam Deck screen. And apart from the odd little stutter, which I don't know what's causing that. I think it might be loading in a new area when I traverse the landscape, kind of like how Fallout does at different zones. Oh, and it also just did it when I discovered wolves. Okay, whenever a discovery pops up, it does a tiny little stutter. So I don't know what's causing that. Would that be CPU related? How interesting. But honestly, with a little bit of TLC, I think honestly, Toplitz could get this running at verified level. To be honest, I've played verified games that run worse than this, so I would say that this is more than acceptable for verified. Now you may be wondering, why this game? Well, this game is kind of perfect for handheld. You can, let's say, build a building or two when you're watching TV, and then you can turn the game off, come back to it in a couple of hours and go foraging, and then pause it again, and then do the same thing. And I think portable gameplay really fits this game really well. Let's go into a town and see how the performance handles it. So, we're going to try and aim for above 40. That is our minimum, I would say. Even though, again, 30, still very playable. Let's head in here. Okay, 52, 50, 51. Okay, how do characters look? Yeah, still very detailed. It hasn't affected them. Okay. Let's try and talk to someone. 45. 45 is the lowest right now. Okay, let's talk to this lady. Oh, we hit 39. Okay. Hello.
Hello there.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I'm playing with a PS4 DualShock at the moment, because of course I got the Steam Deck hooked up to my TV. But yeah, this fantastic. I recommend Medieval Dynasty. If you want to see me cover other games, comment down below and tell me. I want to hear what you guys want to see tested. But until next time, that's me out. Bye, guys.
See you soon.